Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borchem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
There was once a preacher had a very small congregation out in the Great Plains, and one Sunday morning, the preacher came into the church, and there was just one farmer there, and the pastor, looked and figured, well, he came all this way, I should do the whole service that I prepared and everything, and finally at the end, the pastor said to him, so what did you think? And the cattleman sort of paused for a second and said, Padre, let me tell you something. When I go out with a wagon load of hay to feed the cattle, there's just one cow there, I don't give them the whole thing. So, there is magic in small groups. One of the most amazing confirmation experiences was with 4 kids. There were 3 girls. They were the most popular set in the high school that the school district served. And there was one boy. really bright, but he was in a different school district. And the amazing thing was that in any other setting, this one boy would never have interacted with these three girls. But they were in confirmation together for a year, and they brought him out and wouldn't let him hide in just the most amazing way. I can still remember Adam, Missy, Tammy, and Mandy. Still hold their names because that was so special. We begin with the candle blessing, and Carol, if you'd like to come and bless the candles.
Microphone, because I can't hear you on Zoom. Can we turn it on?
As these candles, Shabbat candles, give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our life, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechad likner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Carol.
We continue on page 20 with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתחילה לאחד דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לאחד דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במה מתחילה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי שיר דברי, כבור עיני עלייך נגלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת בואי ושלום עטרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We open our hearts with the Baruch Hu, page 28.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 la lai. Yai lai Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
From Rabbi Denise Eger, a blessing for Pride, as we are observing Pride Month. Makor HaChaim, source of life, you have blessed each of us with your spirit. In your wisdom, you have made each of us a unique treasure. Mayim Chayenu, wellspring of our lives, cause us to flow with courage, strength, and compassion, to live our stories openly, proudly, and joyfully. Shekhinah Shel Ahava, presence of love, you embrace us with your love. May we embrace ourselves, our partners, our lovers, our friends, our children, our dear ones, with the power of your Ahava Rabbah, your unending, boundless love.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, amen.
Joel Osteen is one of the TV megachurch preachers. I actually went to the church once. It's in a former basketball arena. They fill it 3 times on a weekend with 16,000 people. We're waiting for the rest of our 16,000 here. But his sermons always begin with some sort of a piece of humor. But thinking of that, it occurred to me that before Micha Mocha, it's time to share a moment of redemption. And I happened to see this in one of the newspapers I read, which was really touching. This is the story that there is a 12-year-old whose name is Brody, and it was the end of the school year, and the yearbooks were distributed, and no one signed his yearbook. There were 2 classmates, 2 teachers, and himself. And in his yearbook he wrote, "Hope you make some friends, Brody." And there was a school Facebook page, and his mother wrote about this on the Facebook page, not to call attention to her son because he would have been embarrassed, but to try to stop this from happening and prevent this from happening again. And it went viral in the school. A 17-year-old, Joanna Cooper, our mother took a screenshot of the post and sent it to her, and she decided to bring 11th graders. Simone Lightfoot also saw the post, and she decided to bring friends, as well as Maya Gregory, an 8th grader. And so the next day, at homeroom, the room was full of people who were going to sign his yearbook. And the school decided, and really the students themselves decided, to make sure that in the future, everybody will have friends to sign a yearbook. Amazing moments of redemption. There's so much going on in the world. It can still happen. Micha Mocha.
We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedara b'kodesh, Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedara b'kodesh, Nohura tehilodo seifele, Nohura tehilodo seifele. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Help us to lie down at night in comfort, safety, and peace. May the dreams of our children be sweet tonight and tomorrow and the day after. May the future be bright for them and for their children and for generations to come. Grant us the ability to rest, and after long days of work and worry, give us the chance to let our souls be at peace, and give us the grace to know how to separate from the things we cannot control. Allow us to quiet our bodies and our minds as we drift away from the mundane and enter into a sacred dreamscape. Spread over us the shelter of your comforting presence. Help us to know that it's okay to let go, to breathe, to be, to just be. Journey with us into our sublime subconsciousness, and let us live in this liminal space of neither here nor there, for when we are with you, we are never truly alone. Guide us, watch over us, protect us. Allow us to rise in the morning with the fragrance of a new dawn, a chance to hope, to create ourselves anew, again and again and again. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Haridenu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Shalom, Haridenu malkeinu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Haridenu shomreinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Haridenu shomreinu lechayim, lechayim, lechayim.
We continue with the tefillah, beginning on page 46. Please rise in body, posture, or spirit.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. O eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. O eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hadorah, El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Bekonei HaKol V'Zocher Chaste Avot Ve'imachot Umevi Geula Livnei B'neichem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב לחושייה, מוריד חטא, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless, in this pain we share. Sweet friends, come and dry your eyes, and hold each other by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless, with love on our side. Sweet souls who feel broken now will heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud.
If you have dear ones that you pray for healing on this Shabbat, please rise and I'll come to you. friends who are on Zoom this evening. And we hold in our hearts Stephanie Levitt, Marilyn Greenwald, Marsha Margolin, Francie Clark, Dennis Vanger, Evan Bin, Lynn Edlinger, Larry Margolis, Dory Winchell, Gary Verbin, Larry German, Rebecca Fraser, Marcel Fraser, Sherry Berenstein, Maxine Rogo, Harry Miskin, David Habib, Anna Tran, Jane Barker Hogan, Lev Heschel, Ben Batami, Suzanne Price, Carney Friedman family, Carol Kleinman, Art Miller, Sergio Rubka, Samuel Jimmy Ezekiel, Ruth Remke, Carol Penn, Ella Schulman, Jessica Bobson, William Ween, Abdullah Ibrahim, Cindy Brines, Louis Alesco, Dolores Gould, Tim Twomley, Elisheva Hanna, Peter Spivak, Eric Hines, Michael McNally, Helene Gagnon, Sandy Backman, and Sophia Hanna.
Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I've been thinking a lot about the tragedy in Uvalde, Texas. It's really hard to find words that express the magnitude of that kind of grief. This past Wednesday evening, I had the honor of singing for a fundraiser for the Robb School that was hosted online by my dear friend Joe Buchanan, who I think you know, who's both a Texas resident and has very close ties to the community of Uvalde. In fact, his dad lives there, and he spent his summers on the river there and described the community as just the nicest people you could ever know. So I was trying to think of a song that would be appropriate for this fundraiser, and I was reminded of a song that I had learned in college, and it was a song in Spanish by a Mexican pop group called Maná. It was actually a song that I had used to audition for the Latin ensemble. I got in, but... And the song is called Vivir Sin Aire. It's really a love song, but I felt that it really spoke to the kind of loss that perhaps this community is experiencing. If you don't know any Spanish, Vivir Sin Aire means to live without air. And I can only imagine that to lose a child is really to have to exist in this world without air. So I'll share some of the words in Spanish before I sing it for you. Como quisiera poder vivir sin aire. How could I live in this world? How could I live without air? Como quisiera poder vivir sin agua. Can I live without water? Me encantaría quererte un poco menos. I'd love to love you a little less. Como quisiera poder vivir sin ti. How can I be without you? Pero no puedo, I'm not able. Siento que muero, me estoy ahogando sin tu amor. I feel like I'm dying, I am drowning without your love. So, I'll share the song with you tonight. Como quisiera poder vivir sin aire. Como quisiera poder vivir sin agua. Me encantaría quererte un poco menos. Como quisiera poder vivir sin ti. Pero no puedo, siento que muero, me estoy ahogando sin tu amor. Como quisiera poder vivir sin aire, como quisiera calmar mi aflicción, como quisiera poder vivir sin agua. Me encantaría robar tu corazón, como pudiera un pez nadar sin agua. Como pudiera un ave volar sin alas. Como pudiera la flor crecer sin tierra. Como quisiera poder vivir sin ti. Pero no puedo, siento que muero, me estoy ahogando sin tu amor. Como quisiera poder vivir sin aire, como quisiera calmar mi aflicción, como quisiera poder vivir sin agua. Me encantaría robar tu corazón, como quisiera lanzarte al olvido, como quisiera guardarte en un cajón, como quisiera borrarte de un soplido. Me encantaría matar esta canción.
Cantor Lana, thank you. That's just so powerful and so important. Thank you. So, as an interim rabbi, I have the honor of, learning all about Reform Judaism, really all around the country. And I had a variety of things that I had prepared for you tonight, but I'm going to share just two of them with you. The first, in 1964, during the Civil Rights era, Dr. Martin Luther King contacted the Central Conference of American Rabbis and asked for rabbis to come down and support the work they were doing in St. Augustine, Florida. A group of 17 rabbis went down and were arrested. Along with them was Al Vorspan, who was the person in the UAHC at the time who was responsible for social justice. So, look it up online. It's the letter that they wrote is very, very powerful. But Al tells another part of the story. Al was quite a raconteur, and he says that while they were in jail, he called and wanted to speak to the sheriff, and eventually they let the sheriff came down, and Al said, I want you to know that I'm being treated with cruel and unusual punishment. And the sheriff said, well, Mr. Vorspan, there are all these rabbis here, and none of them are saying the same thing. What kind of cruel and unusual punishment are you receiving? And Al said, look, this is the middle of the week. This coming Friday night, all of these rabbis are going to give sermons about what's happening, and they're all practicing on me. If that's not cruel and unusual, I don't know what is. One of the other things, and it's like the video that I showed you of Rabbi Joachim Prinz. It's Rabbi David Einhorn, and he was really Rabbi Isaac Mayer Wise was the first organizer of the Reform movement. Rabbi Einhorn was, you could say, was the great thinker of the Reform movement. The old Union Prayer Book was really based on some of his work. And he was an abolitionist. In 1861, he wrote a sermon opposing slavery. An Orthodox rabbi had written a sermon supporting slavery, and Einhorn wrote a sermon against it. It was published, and the mob in Baltimore wanted to lynch him. And so he had to flee and go to Philadelphia. Most of his writing is in German. There are a few pieces that have been translated into English. And these are a few excerpts from a sermon that he gave in Philadelphia. You'll see how remarkably similar it is in some ways to our own time. The sermon was called War with Amalek, Amalek being the tribe that attacked the Israelites when they first left Egypt. Here are his words. War with Amalek is a war against evil continuing from generation to generation. In this generation, the necessity is presented to us of a war against the enslavement of race, which has brought the Republic to the verge of destruction, against an Amalek seed, which has turned into a blood-drenched dragon seed. Is there anything else but a deed of Amalek, rebellion against God, to enslave beings created in God's image and degrade them to the state of a beast, having no will of their own? Is there anything more ruthless and wicked than turning people into merchandise and tearing apart, tearing away hearts of husbands, wives, parents, and children? The law of God was intended for human beings and is therefore a law of education, affording to human mind the most powerful impulse for development. It is only slaves of the letter of the law that deny this capacity of development. It is only they that convert the letter of the Bible into a slave-free whip. The enslavement of conscience, the attempt to make Christianity the American state religion, wow, do those words echo, predicts a worse war would result between the sects, and the Constitution with the view of securing peace, tranquility, justice, and welfare of the United States, as though the present bloody conflict and the ruling corruption owe their origin to want of a Christian belief, as though ministers of the South and their sermons in defense of slavery did not refer to the authority of Christianity, just as ministers in the North do in their institutions. War against the enslavement of the spirit, materialism, sloth, apathy towards Judaism. And this is the final subject. There would be no Jewish smugglers to say that such great offenses are not committed also by members of other denominations, as often as and perhaps oftener than our own co-religionists, or that the old saying little rogues are brought to punishment whereas big ones are allowed to escape is not exemplified also in our own country. But the crime is far greater when committed by a Jew, because he must know the whole Jewish community is made accountable for his offense, that his act inflicts shame, disgrace, and misfortune upon his fellow believers. Let us make war also upon the Amalek in our midst. Let us meet them that bring shame and disgrace upon us and our religion, with the fullness of our moral indignation. I just find Einhorn's words incredible. And that really is the legacy that we inherit. There's so much to be done in the world. And Cantor Lana, again, thank you so very, very much. And, I'll share with you one thought. It's about what a congregation can be. I was in Chicago. We worked on immigration reform, and there was a program on a Saturday afternoon with Congressman Gutierrez, and he was traveling the country with other members of Congress to learn about the needs and crisis of immigration. And I was there, and got to sit next to Jesse Jackson, and he's taller than me. At the end, someone came up to me and said, "So what congregation are you from?" And I said, KM Isaiah Israel, which was on the south side. It never moved north. And the person said, "I shouldn't have even asked," meaning that, of course, someone from that congregation would represent. And that's this amazing legacy that we share. I'd like to invite Marsha Barkoff to share some announcements. Max, can we get Marsha? There we go.
Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Daryl, thank you very much for your wonderful words.
Marsha, you need to begin again. We're just...
Okay.
Whoa! There you go.
You're sure? Thank you very much for your kind words, Rabbi, and for your Pride Talit. It's very nice. We're enjoying your Pride Talit. Cantor Lana, you're always amazing. Your song in Spanish was terrific, and your concert was absolutely phenomenal. And Saul and the band, it couldn't have been nicer, and it was a true delight. So we have a few mazel tovs here. Tomorrow morning, Emily Simon will have her Bar Mitzvah at 10:30, and you can either come in person or on Zoom, and it should be lovely. Also, mazel tov to Rabbi Lisa and our new rabbis, Genevieve and Rebecca. And there was a fabulous write-up in the J this week about our congregation and our transition, and we are so thrilled that Rabbi Lisa will be our senior rabbi July 1st, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to everybody's hard work, and now we're all ready to roll. Tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock at PTS, we at PTBE will be co-sponsoring with PTS a Shavuot movie midrash at 7 o'clock, and it's the movie is The Adventures of Curious George's Creators. Should be terrific. Our own Rabbi Lisa will be one of the moderators, and PTS's Rabbi Leora will be the other one, and ice cream will be served. So how about that? That's one good way to enjoy the movie Midrash and Curious George. We all grew up with Curious George, I think. On Sunday the 5th at 10 a.m. Is the last Shavuos Yizkor, right here on Zoom. And I would like you to note that Rodef Tzedek is tackling climate change. And there's a whole article in our newsletter about joining them. And you can register online because there's a big kickoff as they launch the Religious Action Center of California's RAC-CA. And it's a fabulous thing that they're doing, and my hat's off to them, and we're all very proud. And so you can register online at you'll find it on our newsletter. And last but certainly not least, next Friday, the 10th, we will have a special service where we bid fond farewell to Rabbi Daryl at 6:30. So thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And also on the 12th is our Siyum as we finish writing the Torah.
Right.
It's been a great experience. We turn now to the Kaddish. If there is a dear one that you're remembering as their name is read, please rise. We mark the first 30 days with the losses of Louis Hirsch, Hal Stein, Roma Auerbach, Rabbi R.A. Stokowski, Roberta Porter, Bernie Guerrero, Dorothy Granite, Lisa Gorin Davis, Marlene Lassoff. We mark the yard sites of Burton Arts, Mark Bentall, Stephen Blumenthal, Jerry Bott, Stuart Brody, Max Cooper, Frank Gerlich, Janice Gold, Dorothy Greenblatt, Don Herzog, Pearl Hoffman, Janice Kaber, Henry Caston, Eugenia Katz, Frida Coben, Bertha Kopit, Miles Krasler, Florence Lawson, Leslie Lerner, Ida Levin, Vera Littman, Bertha Margolis, Mark Morris, Edward J. Pastor, Shirley Polanski, Louise Robbins, Arlene Safran, Frances Helen Samuels, Barbara Schreiber, Sylvia Schwartzberg, Dorothy Seckelson, Elfrida Serban, David Serban, Dorothy Shore, Robert Susko, Robert Upright. We remember all of those who have lost their lives with the mass shootings, the 3 mass shootings in these recent weeks, and particularly the children who have lost their lives. We think of those who have lost their lives because of COVID, because of natural disaster, because of violence in the world, those with no one to remember them, and those who have lost their lives in the defense of freedom. We rise together and we stand with our mourners, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, b'yama divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'bisman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach elam omei omaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'gudusha brechu. Le'ela min kol mirchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiram b'yama v'yimru amen. Yishlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama v'chuya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved. Amen. Cantorolana, you get to Kiddush.
I do, but I was going to, Alyssa, you want to come to Kiddush? Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shavat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu vacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim. Ve'shabat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Chaim.
Oh, thank God, it's gracious.
All right. Wait, you're not off the hook yet.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. It's actually the 10th anniversary of my bat mitzvah.
Oh my gosh. Just mazel tov. All right. The Feigelsons get the hollow. Melissa, that was beautiful. It's great to have you back on our Bima. Welcome back from Israel. And let's close it out. I'll get there. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Oh, say shalom. Bimroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, I bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, I bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, I bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
This song was very moving.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey!
Shabbat Shalom, Kay.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.